What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel, and for today's video, it's another character overview, and for today we're covering Venti. Now, like I will explain in every single character overview, because I don't expect everyone to be watching the series and to understand what this exactly is. Everything is taken from face value, skills, constellations, and talents. I basically just go over my own opinion, tell you guys if I think this character is good for a Xiao team comp. You guys can put your own opinions in the comments. If you guys have already been on my channel, you guys know I usually respond to almost every comment. If it's about something about a build or something like that, I'm trying to stay on top of things like that. These character videos are really short, simple. I try not to go past 10 minutes on these. I'm definitely not going past 20, right? And yeah, they're not gonna be in depth. I'm not gonna be going over mechanics. I may possibly recommend an artifact if I know about it, but that's pretty much it. So, Venti, let's go over it. So, is Venti good for Xiao? Obviously, it's like a no-brainer. We just did for Sucrose. And if you want to go Venti, you can. Now, would I recommend both on the same team? No. That's a different story if you really want to do that. So, Venti. Like Sucrose, same element. You gain energy with Venti really quick. Apply this on to Xiao, gain more energy. So, starting off with Ventis E. Venti E summons a wind domain at enemy's location, dealing AoE damage and launching enemies into the air. And then holding it is just basically a larger version of it and launches affected enemy into the air. Now, with Ventis E, you can just put in Venti and just tap it really quick to get your energy back. It's a 6-second cooldown. So I feel as though that is just like the best way to utilize Venti. I feel like a lot of people utilize Venti in that way anyway. They literally just put in Venti real quick, tap to get some energy, swap out, get energy onto your main DPS. With Xiao being the case, right? Xiao gets more energy because, like the Sucrose video, the same color that you get more energy back. Now, that's all I really have to say about that. I really feel like you wouldn't be holding Ventis E, honestly. You just switch in, use E, get energy, come back out. So basically core gameplay and a Xiao team comp when it comes to Venti. Now, Ventis Q. Obviously, everyone knows that Ventis Q is really good. Venti Q, you shoot it, gathers up all the enemies for a decently long time, 8 seconds. Xiao wants elemental burst, come up, come down, spam the attack, and do a lot of damage at the end of the day. And then Venti's Q, 60 energy, which is 20 energy less than Sucrose, if that appeals to you. Which, just want to make a simple note right here. If you guys do learn how to gain energy really quickly, energy numbers don't really factor as bad as you may think they do. Now, passive talents. First one, gliding stamina consumption. You're not going to really be worried about that. Holding E, you're not going to really be worried about that. But the third talent regenerates 15 energy for Venti after the effects of Q. So you already start off with a lot of energy from Venti. And if you have Venti in for whatever reason, you're getting the energy back from using Venti Q and having elemental reactions to it. That's even better. And if a elemental absorption occurred, this also restores 15 energy to all the characters of that corresponding element. This is not for Xiao's case. So this is like if, from what I believe, like I said, my opinion, you guys can correct me in the comments, but Storm Eye is basically if you use Ventis Q, if let's say I have Diluc and Diluc E's and it's a pyro element, that means Diluc gets 15 energy back. That's what I believe it to be. If I am wrong and that the energy would still go on to Xiao, just correct it in the comments. Now, Constellations, Constellation 1, I mean, it helps with a little bit DPS, it doesn't really matter that much. Now, Constellation 2 decreases enemy Anemo res by 12 seconds, by 12%, my bad, for 10 seconds. Enemies on launch suffer 12% ammo res and physical res decrease while airborne. So, enemies launched, I feel like you would try to have to combo this into a Q, and maybe the res still applies. Like I said, I'm not sure. I actually do not have Venti myself, but in the case that would work, where you hold E, launch the enemies, and they have both Anemo and physical res, and you're able to use Q with Venti and keep them into the air, this may be really good. A good amount of damage when you go into Xiao's elemental burst, come up and down. Oh, my apologies. It's actually not as good as I'm thinking right now, because Xiao's damage is all Anemo damage once he goes into elemental burst. So I believe that it would stack, but I am totally wrong on that from what I just thought in my head. So it's basically just you pop in when you use your E, Anemo res down by 12% for 10 seconds. My bad on that. So Constellation 4, Venti gains a Anemo damage bonus buff. Doesn't really apply to Xiao as much, but you know, it is extra DPS. So Constellation 6, targets who take damage from Q have their Anemo res decreased by 20%. Obviously, really good. We have Constellation 6 Venti. If we want to go Constellation 6 Venti or Sucrose, I believe just for the Anemo res, possibly you would go Venti, but we would have to see the damage difference between that and the amount of elemental mastery you can put on to Sucrose to apply that much more damage to Xiao. Or let's say you wanted to go C6 Venti right instead of Sucrose. This would be okay if you weren't really going to rely on elemental reactions, because Xiao does fine damage without having a proc swirl. Like, you know, in CBT2, there's people that have like hit for about almost 50k with, you know, Xiao just straight Anemo damage from elemental burst, and having Anemo res down makes it even better. And then if an elemental absorption occurred, then the res towards the corresponding element also decreased by 20%. Just more extra damage output, which, you know, we can't really argue about. So, at the end of the day, is Venti good for Xiao? Of course. Of course. It's just your choice and how you feel about Venti or Sucrose, and if you want to go either or on a Xiao comp. I've seen people ask me if you should go Venti and Sucrose on the same comp. That's up to you. I wouldn't recommend having 3 of the same element into one comp, but you know, if you just want to gather them up for extra damage with Xiao and just gain so much more energy that Xiao just has his elemental burst back once it's done, I mean, I guess, but I wouldn't really recommend that, because, you know, at the end of the day, other elemental reactions matter, and you have to fit other characters into a team comp. So this video has carried on long enough. That being said, hope you guys have a good day or night, whatever time you're watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.